Hazy Radio listeners? Do you like animated movies and TV shows? Do you ever wonder just what goes into making the magic that appears on your screen? Join Doug Engler and Brandon Aarons every Sunday night for Animazing Radio. Animazing will feature everything in the animation arena, from voice actors and actresses to illustrators, producers, and more. Only on Animazing Radio will you find the very best in animation from around the world. Catch Animazing Radio every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on the Hazy Radio Network.
Me, a cat, moving in with a new human. It took a little getting used to. She has these weird games she likes to play, like this giant feather. She sticks it in my face. I swat it away. She sticks it in my face. I swat it away. It's almost like she thinks I enjoy it. But seeing how much fun she gets out of it, well, I guess it makes it all worth it. Humans.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Hey everyone, it's Karen Frazier. I'm here with my co-host of Paranormal Underground Radio, Rick Hale.
Hi everyone.
We invite you to join Paranormal Underground Radio on the Hazy Radio Network to explore the unexplained every Thursday night from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific and other times in the flyover states.
Each week we talk with investigators in the field, researchers, authors, and experts about topics that include paranormal investigation, ufology, cryptozoology, and spirituality.
So please join us each Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern for Paranormal Talk with great guests right here on HazyRadioNetwork.com.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer.
I want to be a warm fleece on a cold day.
I want to be a football
I want to be a bike that races around the country.
I want to be a bench on a forest trail.
When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
Lord, I feel so good. RNR.com.
Welcome back to the Rock and Roll Psychic Radio Show with your host, Andrew Brewer.
Welcome back, everybody, to Rock and Roll Psychic Radio. Again, our guest this evening, the ParaGoddess, JoLynneValerie. And JoLynne, Zita and I have been strategizing how to who's carry-on to go to Charlotte. So, because that's how we are. We want to go to the psychic soiree. So, for those people who may not have heard, if they're just joining us for the second hour, before we get too far into the show, let people know again, if you don't mind, how they can find you on the web, and also a little bit about this conference, because even though I'm probably not going to be able to go, I have to admit, now I really want to go. So.
Awesome. Well, everybody can find me at ParaGoddess.com. It's my brand new website. I think I told you privately, Andrew, but it's the sweetest thing, really, because my husband taught himself how to build websites just so he could make this site for me. It's a work in progress, but I'm very excited. It's got all kinds of good stuff and everything relevant to my career and what I have to offer and who I am. It also has all the information about this conference right there on my website, ParaGoddess.com. What folks need to do is, right on my homepage, there is a button for upcoming events and appearances, and they'll find the link to the website about the conference, how to get involved, as well as all of the events that I'm going to be hosting there, 3 events in my supernatural soiree.
That sounds fantastic. Zita, you want to go, right?
Of course I do.
I mean, we're probably not going to be able to go because it's already sold out, and, we are. But it's not that we don't want to go. Because, truthfully, I really do want to go.
I know, I do too.
Zita, I'm such a bad host because I never really go. And Zita, if people want to find out things about you or more about Hazy Radio Network or anything, I never go there. I'm always I'm so focused on the guests. It's not that I don't love you. I always forget.
That's okay.
So I'm trying to make up for, my past couple of weeks of rudeness.
No, that's okay. Yeah, people know where to find me. Just look for me on Facebook, Zita Ost, Z-I-T-A-O-S-T. I'm easy to find. HazyRadio.com is our website. And if you click around on the buttons, you'll see information on the different shows and the schedules. And we're going to be adding a couple new features to it. But I can announce, this is kind of fun, you don't even know about this yet, that we are going to have our own mobile app that should be coming up within the next 2 weeks, that you can tune in, listen to any show from your mobile device on the Hazy Radio Network. How cool is that?
Rock and Roll Psychic Radio on the go.
That's right.
That's pretty rocking.
It's rocking and rolling. Yeah.
Before the break, we were taking questions. We're going to continue that, and I want to thank JoLynne for answering. I just want to throw one thing into that, too. And the question dealt with how to help your children if they're intuitive for their development. What I talk about, you don't really teach, echoing what JoLynne said, too, you don't really teach someone to be psychic. It's there. I believe what you do is what I call decluttering them, because most people in this culture are told, well, you can't do that. It's like being an artist. You're not going to make any money, or the devil causes it, or whatever. There's a lot of storylines that may make it complicated for people to really embrace that. So I think, again, to echo what JoLynne was saying, you help facilitate a belief in their self. And the more that you can foster a strong sense of self-confidence, and it has nothing to do necessarily with them being a psychic, but to help them feel self-confident and willing and open to change and willing and open to whatever, and standing up for themselves, that goes a long way towards helping them be strong with their intuition as well as being strong by taking that out into the universe. To me, the difference between a young, sort of developing clairvoyant and a more accomplished clairvoyant is not that they're any more psychic, but that they're in a space where they're not as nervous about it. A lot of it's self-confidence. So Zito, are there other, you had mentioned to us that there were other questions. You want to just kind of run down a couple of them?
Yeah, there are. Let me go ahead and scroll up because they've been chatting away here. The next question is from Cuddle Darling. I love the names that they come in with. What would you say is the best... Oops, we already read that one. Go down. This one is from Prairie Rain Shadow. To both JoLynne and Andrew. I say my biggest torment in life is finding exactly who I am. Hold on, I have to scroll back up. You keep chatting in here and moving me down. And where I fit in. Have either experienced this or do you have any advice on finding and accessing your own spiritual gifts or her spiritual gifts?
Well, I mean, that's probably a theme of all of our lives from the time that we could first, waddle across the floor. So, JoLynne, I'm going to let you go first with this because you're the guest. I'm sure you have a lot that you want to say with this one.
I do. I really do. It's not a simple answer, but I believe I can speak to this in a very relevant and profound way because this is what I do with people a great majority of the time. I have a two-part answer. The first thing I always recommend to anybody when they're trying to find who they are and find their purpose, and I think that's what she's talking about, not just her spiritual gifts, but her purpose. Yes? Yeah. Is that what she said?
Correct.
Okay. Two things are very, very powerful to do. Very powerful. The first thing I always recommend is that you close your eyes and you go back to a memory of when you were about 10 years old. Okay, I've been using this exercise for years with people. I've done it with myself. When you were about 10 years old. Why 10? Well, because at the age of 10, most kids are still relatively pure. This is before parents have really instilled in you what they think you should do with your life. This is before teachers have really instilled in you what they think you're most talented at. And when you're at the age of 10 and you're not at school or you're not at summer camp or whatever you have to do, because you don't really do much else when you're a kid, right? But when you have your free time, you do what you want to do. You do the things you love. So I always like to suggest to people to close their eyes and just go back to a time in their mind, or maybe even find a picture of yourself from when you were about 10 years old and look at that kid and really reconnect with who you are, because it's really not who you were, it's who you are. What are the things that you did in your spare time? What are the things that you loved, you just couldn't get enough of? Those are strong clues as to what your real passions in life are. I mean, I know when I was 10, it was nature, it was anything to do with ghosts or angels, stuff like that, and it was books and writing. And I've talked to many, many people who say, you know what, wow, yeah, when I was 10, I was really kind of clear as far as what I loved. And a lot